We just kind of wanted to start off by asking, what is it like being a senior, a high school senior, during a global pandemic? And we can kind of keep this casual. Anyone can pop off their mic and kind of give us some thoughts, and we'll just discuss things. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Honestly, it's been hard to adjust to everything. You've been looking forward to all this for so long. Everyone's like, high school goes so fast, enjoy your senior year. And it's really hard to when there's a lot of things that you get told, we can't do this, it's not safe for us to do this. And it's like hard because you want to do these things, but you also want to make sure everyone stays as safe as possible.
Yeah, what kinds of things were you told it's not safe, we can't do this? What was the stuff that you had to sit on the sidelines for this year?
Well, I was looking forward to like prom and homecoming this year. I was on prom committee last year. So like we were about to order stuff right before we went off break, and we had to cancel that entire thing. Obviously everyone looks forward to their senior homecoming. Most of us do. As a cheerleader, getting to sit with like the student section and having pep rallies, stuff like that was definitely not allowed this year. And I really missed out on some of the fun senior week activities, things like that we get to do.
For sure. And I know, Liza, you were ready to chime in as well. Talk about your experience as a senior.
Hi, I think it's just difficult because everything is up in the air. Um, you know, at least for myself, I'm a planner, and not knowing everything that's going to happen during our senior year, what we're going to be able to do or not, it's been very challenging, like she said, to adjust to all the changes.
I would think so. Obviously, one day you're in school, the next day you're not. Did anyone choose remote learning for their default, or were you all in the classroom?
Michael.
I've been in class and out of class because Weir High is doing this hybrid learning thing where we spend like 2 days in school and then the other days are all virtual for the students.
And what's been challenging about that in particular, just the back and forth aspect of it?
Well, it's certainly challenging, I would say, for the students who need help because it's not an in-person class most of the time, and I feel like some students really need that help in the class, like have a human interaction with someone.
Right. Yeah. Diana, have you done any virtual learning this year?
I've been full-time all year.
Okay, so talk about that experience. There are so many different protocols now that even in-person learning is very different.
Yeah, I am very grateful because I'm able to communicate with teachers face to face and have some taste of normalcy just to walk through the halls. But in class, we have plexiglass around our desks, masks on at all times, only taking them off if you're eating lunch. And it's hard because you're used to going up to your friends, talking to them, but you're not allowed to do that. No more group projects. And sometimes it's hard not to be able to see people's faces.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Someone talk about just the experience of all of those different protocols and how they've impacted your actual education.
I feel like it's certainly made, I would say, classroom work a bit easier because there's less distractions, I would say. And like all the protocols, they're in place because they need to be in place to keep everyone as safe as possible. So like I really have no complaints with any of the protocols in place. And they're all doing what they have to do to make sure we all remain safe and COVID free.
Yeah, Liza, what do you have to add to that?
I feel like the students are doing a great job at adjusting too, because I feel that everyone that's in person is so grateful and thankful that we are able to have a school year in person. So I feel like everyone's doing a great job at doing what they need to do.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to add that the whole like not being able to do group projects has been hard to work around and things like that. But like the teachers at my school have been they've been doing very well with actually still being able to show us like the labs that we need to see and doing the fun interactive like actual visual learning that we need to do. And I'm grateful that we can do that in person. So it's really hard online.
Right. That's true. Have there been other silver linings or other benefits to this strange, different kind of education?
The virtual learning, I would say, allows students to work within more of their own time frame and get more work done, I would say. But yet again, it's hard to get help on some of the assignments.
Sure. Was technology a challenge ever with internet outages or basic power outages or anything like that?
I would say the program that we've been using, I would say it's challenging to use the program because it's new to all of us. But the teachers at Weir High are doing their best to make sure that we get the proper learning and doing what they can to make sure that we leave the class learning something.
Good, good. Alex, I saw you nodding about that.
Yeah, I also take like college credit plus classes at Eastern Gateway. So all of my classes are online this year, and all of my teachers have been super understanding. My Wi-Fi went out this weekend just randomly, and emailed them off my phone, and they all understood. So I think it's also good to have really understanding teachers and professors this year.
Great. And Diana, it seems like you can relate to that.
Yeah, and even in the classroom, we're not allowed to hand in any papers or receive any papers, which is really weird because I'm used to taking tests and even submitting papers. So everything you have to do, send in through an email, or we use Google Classroom now.
Wow.
But a lot of times, like, teachers will be very understanding and like lenient if you have troubles because everybody's using it now, and it's a hard adjustment.
Yeah, that's great. Let's talk about the future. You guys were mentioning your college courses. So obviously a very different senior year. Has this and everything that happened before this year, even into last spring, impacted any of your future plans?
It certainly made things harder, I would say, because it's hard to find availability to really go to a college you want to go to and tour their campus that you really want to go to because of COVID and all the regulations. But most colleges that I've been in contact with have been doing virtual tours like that. So you get the experience. So they're doing what they can.
Yeah. Liza.
Um, as he was saying, most colleges are having virtual college visits. So I feel like it's hard to really look at the campus and see if you fit in at the campus because it's all virtual. But as soon as I went to a campus in person, I knew that that was the campus that I was meant to go to. But perhaps it would have been different if I would have went to other college campuses.
Yeah, so true. What is a virtual college tour like?
It's interesting. It's basically just all pictures and there's someone there to guide you along the way, but it's definitely not the same as going to a campus in person.
Yeah. Diana, did you take any of virtual college tours?
Yeah, I took one, and I've gone on 2 in-person tours, but for both of them, we aren't allowed inside any of the buildings.
Oh,
So it was just basically like walking around outside.
okay. So how
And on the virtual ones, oh, I'm sorry.
was that?
On the virtual ones, like, there's a person there and it's like a recording, but you don't get to ask any questions. It's like impersonal.
How are you going to make this huge life decision?
Research.
Research, good answer. So what sorts of extra research are you doing to try to figure out if that's where you want to spend the next 4 years and beyond?
I know that I've researched, like, there's some websites that are like, is this college best for you? Or like college reviews, and because you can't really go and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So that's my best option as of now.
Right. So have any of you considered 2 parts of this question? Number 1, repeating your senior year, is that an option? Is that something you've thought about? Maybe next year it'll be back to normal. And then kind of the flip side of that, because this way of looking at colleges is so different right now, has anyone considered taking a little gap year and then maybe a year from now going and looking more in person on campus to decide what you're going to do?
I've certainly looked into taking a gap year to make so maybe the year after I graduate, everything be back to normal and I could go do more of what I think would be required to decide if I want to go to like a college of my choice, and that would help suit my career path the best.
Yeah. How seriously are you considering that? I mean, is this something like you really might do or something that just sounds good?
I would say it's probably something I'm most likely going to do.
Okay. What are you going to do in that gap year?
Save up money, of course, to go to college. Make sure that the career paths that I'm interested in are ones I for sure want to be doing for the rest of my life, and something I would never get sick of at all.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, what are your thoughts looking back and looking forward? Any thoughts on gap year or repeating senior year?
As much as I want to repeat my senior year and get like another shot, I'm not going as much as I would want to get the extra experience and stuff, but I've actually been able to go on campus in colleges and stuff, so I've been able to see, like, I think I'd be okay here. I know some people there. I've been talking to them about how it's like with COVID and everything, and I think I'm just going to go on and hope things will go back to normal sooner than later.
Good, good. Liza, any thoughts on looking ahead to your future?
All we can do is hope that COVID's gonna be gone very soon with this vaccine that's coming out. But I'm just excited to experience a new part of my life, and I am willing to do anything to make sure that we are able to have the rest of our senior year.
Yeah. Speaking of the vaccines, what about people your age? What are your thoughts on the vaccine and the way it's been handled so far with distribution and that sort of thing?
I think the vaccine is currently going to people who need it a lot more, because people of our age, we're at less of a risk to the virus than people who I would say who are older and younger than us. But I know of a few of my friends who have personally went out and got the vaccine. They're getting their second dose of it right now, so they're being extra precautious with it.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Liza.
No, I was just gonna say basically what he said. Yeah.
Gotcha. Double on that one. Who and what has made this year easier?
I definitely. Oh, I'm sorry.
You go first. It's okay.
Okay. I definitely think my mom has made it a lot easier. You know, at the beginning of the year, she told me that the goal is to get an education this year, and anything extra is just a bonus. And also the teachers, they've also been willing to help us whenever we needed it, especially online. Some of my teachers had like private Zoom calls where they could help you one-on-one. And also the staff of the school, they have been doing everything they could to help us be there for the school year.
Great. Go ahead, Alex.
Well, like, obviously, I agree with her completely. My teachers have also been great. They've been doing as much as they can. But I think a lot of the administration has also been trying to make this year as best they can for us. We've actually gotten to have a full football season and basketball season, just, limited number of fans. And especially like my guidance counselor, she's always pushing me to say that, it's school that's what matters, and, that we're still lucky to have it here. And of course, my parents and family for always making sure everything's all right.
Yeah. Diana, who and what has made this year easier?
Just like they said, my family has really been a help. Like sometimes you get down because, oh, I can't do this, or I'm sad that this didn't happen. And they're there to be a shoulder to lean on and just get you through it. And the staff at my school has been very great. They make sure that we're following the protocols, and they do everything they can to help us. And they always have a smile on their face, which helps.
Yeah. Michael, who and what has made this year easier?
I would say the teachers at my school have certainly been amazing when it comes to handling the situation. Because in my area, there are some students who are, I would say, not so fortunate when it comes to their out of school lives. So they've been very understanding when it comes to the virtual work situation. And they've been giving us all the help that we can possibly get. Because as I said, we've been using a program that's completely new to all of us. So it's a learning experience, not only for the students, but also for the staff and the administration for uh, using this program that we use.
Sure.
Sure. Now, you're all the leaders of your schools as the senior class, and then also I can tell as individuals, your leadership skills. What do you think the underclassmen have learned from you this year? Whether or not you were trying to teach them anything, they're looking up to you. What kind of example do you think you've set as far as education during the pandemic goes?
I think we can probably show them that, no matter what, it's the most important to focus on your school and get good grades and try and learn as much as you can, because you don't know what's going to happen, and just to take in as much as you can in the years that you have and what you do get.
For sure.
Anyone else have a thought on that question?
I would say that the underclassmen have certainly learned to, they probably know better than us seniors actually to work through these circumstances, because they're probably gonna have to put up with it longer than us seniors are gonna have to. So I feel like they're gonna grow more accustomed to it. So I think that as them starting their high school years, certainly it's not the ideal way to start, but I think it will give them that perseverance attribute further in life, like down the line, past high school, past college.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
What is the one thing that if it were the perfect year and somehow it could have been safe, even with COVID, what is that one thing or one activity you would have wanted as part of your senior year? I know earlier we were mentioning prom, homecoming, cheerleading, everything very different and canceled, but what's that one thing you just thought, oh, if only? Diana, you're smiling.
Yeah, I'm part of the drama club and the thespian society at my school. And every year we raise money and we take a trip to New York. And we see a bunch of shows, like maybe 4, and we stay there for a week and do a bunch of activities around New York. And we were planning on going in April last year. And then in March, of course, we were quarantined. And then this year we can't go at all.
So you missed it on last year and this year, is that right?
Yeah, you're supposed to go junior and senior year.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That is a double whammy. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully New York will be part of your future plans in a couple years or something. Yeah. What else? What was your one thing? What was that thing that just you really wish could have been part of the year? Michael.
I would say I'm in the Weir High drum line, so marching season has certainly been, I would say, one of the downfalls of COVID, because we weren't able to go to any away games. And me personally, I look forward to going to those away games because I like meeting new people, other people in the bands.
Yeah.
And the OVAC showcase of the bands was canceled, which I really personally love going to, just hearing all the other bands' halftime shows. And also, our bowling season has been mostly canceled, and I was really looking forward to that for my senior year.
Yeah.
Liza or Alex, any thoughts on the one main thing you wish that you had had part of your senior year?
Yeah, we just qualified for state, but our cheer team, and there's completely virtual, and we're going to be able to have a few people come watch us, but family only, and it's usually we get to spend the weekend in a hotel together and have a lot of fun as a team and hopefully do good. And it's a lot harder this year to get in the spirit of competition season when we have to compete from our gym.
And what event is that, or what activity?
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Yeah, not quite the same energy in your own gym with no crowd. I can think that would be very different. Liza, what about you?
I think we have been very fortunate this year at my school because we were able to have a homecoming and, and we're about to have a music in February. So, and we got to have, I'm in the marching band, we got to have a marching band season. And I play volleyball, we got to have a volleyball season. So, you know, I'm really just grateful that that we were able to have all that stuff because I thought that we weren't going to at all. So
That's great. Was anything different about those activities? Did it still feel the same as it always has?
yeah, it was different. For marching band, as Michael said, we didn't get to go, but we didn't get to do that. And, you know, for volleyball, only our parents could come to the games. So it was difficult not having as many people there, like a student section or anything to cheer you on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you ran the school and it was all up to you, is there anything that you know, thinking big here, something that you would put in place maybe for the remainder of the year? If money were no object, if, you know, somehow it could magically, still within kind of the realm of COVID, is there something that you would add or make or change if you were in charge? Kind of an abstract question.
Me personally, in my school, I don't think I would change anything, but because they've handled it probably the best that anyone could possibly handle it.
Yeah. Zach, can you plug the mic or the mouse back in? Well, that speaks very highly, Michael, of your school and staff. So that's great to hear. Did anyone else have any ideas of what something that you would maybe do differently or change? Thank you.
I agree with Michael. I feel like the staff at our school has done an excellent job. And when they felt that our safety was in question, they moved us to online. And then when they felt like it was safe for us to come back, they brought us back in person. So I feel like they've been making the right decisions to keep us safe.
Awesome. Very cool.
Does anyone else have any thoughts that you want to share after hearing what some of the other students have said and after all we've talked about? Kind of any closing thoughts to go through as we're, you know, embarking on the rest of your senior year and wrapping up another strange one during the pandemic?
I think it's just important to remember that, you know, as much as senior year is important to everybody, all of our safety has to come first. I'm lucky that no one I've known has had any serious impacts from COVID, and I'm very grateful for that because I know a lot of people can't say the same. So I'm really proud of my school for not jeopardizing our safety for some of the other things. And as a senior, I would rather take kind of the suckier senior year, the, you know, can't find the word for it, but the worst senior year to make sure everyone stays safe.
Awesome. Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Diana?
I mean, like, I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. Like, I hope that the following classes, like, get to have more opportunities and just have a more well-rounded senior year. But I think, like, we all kind of bonded over this. Like, just the class of 2021 in general.
Liza?
I think we learned a lesson that you shouldn't take the little things for granted. You know, we just all assumed that we would have a senior year together, and now we know that anything can change in a matter of minutes.
Michael, any last thoughts?
I pretty much agree with everyone else.
All right, that sums it up. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate this. This is going to be airing, I believe, Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the following Wednesday. And we're going to put it online as well. So just can't thank you enough. And I think you all represented yourselves and your schools so well. And I think you all have just the right attitude and taking this all in stride. So I appreciate it. I wish you all the very best with the rest of your senior year. And then, moving on to college and whatever that ends up looking like for you and the rest of the future in general. So thank you all so much and have a great night.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.